Hey, if you already use OBS to record your videos and you want to make stuff that actually fits Instagram Reels or TikTok, this one's for you. I found a super simple trick that takes like 2 minutes to set up, and it saves you from recording in the wrong orientation or awkwardly cropping everything later. So let's walk through it like we're just messing around in the studio together. First thing, open OBS. I'm assuming you've already got your camera and mic in there, so you have your scene, your sources, and the work set up. If not, take a moment to set that foundational gear up first. But if you're already recording long-form content in OBS, the only change you really need is the canvas size. That is essentially the only necessary initial adjustment you have to make. Go down to Settings, then navigate over to the Video options. You will see two resolution fields clearly labeled as Base Canvas Resolution and Output Scaled Resolution. Instead of the usual 1920 by 1080 landscape setup, set both of those fields to 1080 by 1920. You need to literally flip those numbers to set the canvas to a vertical orientation. That's the vertical video resolution that most major platforms expect for Reels and TikTok content. Hit Apply, hit OK, and your OBS preview will instantly switch over to a clean portrait layout. It's like turning your whole project on its side, which is exactly what you want when you're creating vertical content. Now, your existing camera source will probably look tiny or be cropped completely wrong because your camera is still capturing everything in landscape mode. Just click the camera source and grab the red outline. Then you can move it, stretch it, or right-click and choose Transform Fit to Screen depending on how you want it framed. If your primary goal is to have the camera perfectly centered, use the Transform Center to Screen option. Play with it for a moment, move the camera higher or lower, or zoom in if the subject feels a bit too small in the frame. The preview window shows you exactly how it will look when recorded, so you can tweak until everything finally feels right. For a couple of quick tips. If your camera is landscape only and you don't want to physically rotate it, you can rotate the source in OBS by editing the transform settings to 90 or 270 degrees. However, often it is actually easier to just crop the source until your main subject fits nicely inside that vertical frame. Hold the Alt key while dragging the edge of the source to crop it directly inside of OBS. Remember that this Alt drag cropping method is a very handy trick to master for quick adjustments. Once your framing feels good, turn your camera on and do a quick test record, just about 10 seconds, to confirm everything looks completely clean. Talk normally, check your audio levels, and then immediately check that recorded file on your computer to review the output. If your mic or camera is off-center or the crop looks weird, adjust it in OBS and immediately do another quick test recording. This entire verification part only takes about a minute, and it prevents that awkward realization later when you see most of your filming is unusable because your head was chopped off. Okay, now here is where things get really interesting for creators who consistently work with long video formats. Imagine you recorded a 20 to 60 minute tutorial or a long stream, and now you want to turn that into snackable, high-impact clips for Reels, TikTok, and Shorts. You could hand-edit everything in Premiere, CapCut, or even splice it manually in your phone editor. But that process is time-consuming, repetitive, and honestly pretty soul-sucking if you have to do it every single week. This is precisely why I started using an AI tool to handle the heavy lifting and grunt work for me. There are a few different tools out there. Some are free or cheap, but very limited. Some are feature-rich, but quite expensive, and many still require you to do most of the creative heavy lifting yourself. For example, CapCut is excellent for in-app edits and cool visual effects, but it gets clunky when you try to manage dozens of clips across multiple different platforms. Adobe applications are incredibly powerful, but the required subscriptions add up quickly, and the initial learning curve can feel incredibly steep. Other basic clip samplers will find highlights for you, but they often fail to schedule the posts or help you strategically plan out your distribution. What I prefer to do is keep recording in OBS with that dedicated vertical canvas, and then I feed the raw footage directly into an auto-editing platform like Vizard. The primary reason I prefer a tool like Vizard is because it doesn't just chop up the footage completely randomly. It intelligently scans the entire long video, finds the specific moments that are most likely to perform well, and turns them into ready-to-post clips. Think of it like having a dedicated assistant that watches your entire video and expertly pulls out the very best parts, punchlines, key insights, and high-energy moments. This entire analytical process alone saves me an incredible amount of time every single week. But it is not just about saving your time in the editing suite. The automatic scheduling and content calendar features within these advanced tools are what truly change the game for consistent creators. You can simply tell the platform how often you want to post, say 3 times per week, and it will automatically schedule those clips based on that desired cadence. This means that once I record and upload the long video, I no longer have to constantly babysit every single little clip that gets generated. The tool efficiently handles the distribution across all your platforms and lets you review the entire publishing schedule in one unified calendar view. That level of control is huge if you are trying to grow a channel and want a truly predictable posting rhythm without living inside an editing application. Contrast that outcome with doing absolutely everything manually. You end up with hundreds of raw, unorganized clips on your hard drive, a mountain of half-finished edits, and zero consistency in your actual posting times. Alternatively, you might sign up for a basic clip finder that gives you rough cuts, but then you still have to manually export, resize, add platform-specific captions, and then upload everything. It is certainly doable, and those simpler tools absolutely have their place. But if you genuinely value your time and want to focus on content creation, the automation is a proper, necessary upgrade. Another important thing worth mentioning is that some tools are great at finding highlights, but often completely fail to properly understand vertical formatting or platform-specific sizing needs. With OBS already set to that native 1080 by 1920, you are giving the editor the huge advantage of starting with native vertical footage to work with. That is a crucial step because many auto editors genuinely struggle if you feed them a landscape master and expect flawless vertical outputs without any extra work. Record vertical in OBS, upload to your chosen clip tool, and the odds of getting perfectly framed, ready to post reels increase dramatically from the start. Also, you need to be honest with yourself about the limitations, because no artificial intelligence solution is entirely perfect yet. You will still want to briefly glance through all the generated clips before they go live to add any crucial context, tweak captions, or ensure the overall flow matches your personal speaking voice. But with good default settings like automatic captions, excellent auto selection of the best moments, and built-in scheduling, you successfully remove the absolute bulk of the tedious manual work. So, the streamlined workflow I personally use is this. First, record in OBS with both resolutions set to 1080 by 1920. Then frame your camera correctly, do a few quick tests, and finally upload the full recording to Vizard or a similar auto-editing platform. Let the platform analyze and auto-create the clips, quickly review those clips, tweak anything that feels slightly off, and then let the scheduler publish them automatically for you. You can manage absolutely everything from that central content calendar, so you are never guessing what went out or exactly when it was supposed to go live. To quickly compare, completely manual editing offers maximum flexibility, but it is extremely slow for scaling your output. Mobile editors like CapCut are cheap and very accessible, but they truly were not built for managing high-volume content creation at scale. Professional-grade software solutions are incredibly powerful, but they often end up being total overkill for the typical short-form content creator's needs. The AI automation platform sits right in that useful middle ground. It automates the truly repetitive parts, helps you scale your posting frequency, and still gives you full creative control where it matters most. If you are serious about growing your presence on Reels or TikTok and you currently record longer videos using OBS, this refined setup will save you an unbelievable amount of production time. Simply record vertical, make your adjustments in OBS, perform those quick tests, and then let an intelligent auto editor handle the heavy lifting of clip selection and scheduling for you. You end up getting far more high-quality content out of the exact same long video, and most importantly, you actually keep your sanity throughout the process. Alright, that wraps up this tutorial. It was super quick and incredibly straightforward, just as promised. If this specific trick was helpful to you today, please hit that subscribe button or save this video right now for when you need it later. I plan to keep sharing these little production hacks that genuinely help you create much more content without ever risking burnout. I will see you all in the very next video, breaking down another useful tip.